good surprises and bad surprises, and very bad surprises. For example, No Man's Sky was a bad surprise, and according to most critics, Titanfall 2 was a good surprise. But Titanfall 2 sold poorly, so that was a bad surprise. Anyway, Titanfall. Was it really this good? Let's check. As always, I just checked the single player campaign and I'm not going to talk about the multiplayer. What is Titanfall anyway? Well, it's a first-person shooter in which you are playing as Jack Cooper. Jack is a rifleman, but he's in training to be a pilot. These pilots are no normal soldiers. Pilots pilot big mechs called Titans. Most of the game is played as a first-person shooter, taking out enemies on foot, but later on you frequently pilot your own Titan, BT-7274. But why is Jack killing all these poor soldiers? Well, the story of Titanfall 2 was a bit hard to follow in the beginning, especially when you didn't play part 1, so here's a brief background. The conflict of the game takes place in the Frontier, a region of star systems far removed from the core system where Earth is located. The Interstellar Manufacturing Corporation, or IMC, and the Frontier Militia battle for control of the Frontier. The IMC seeks to exploit the Frontier's rich resources, regardless of the consequences for the planetary environment and the civilian populations, while the Militia fights to expel the IMC and gain independence for the Frontier. And of course, Jack is in the Militia, fighting for the right cause. In the beginning of the game, after the tutorial level, the Militia initiates an attack on the planet Typhon with a landing from outer space. Jack and his squad got separated from the rest of the invading force, but he survives and managed to salvage a Titan from his fatally wounded ranking officer. He uses this Titan to regroup with the rest of the Militia and along the way bonds with the AI of the Titan. The planet Typhon looks gorgeous. From the mountainous forests where Jack lands initially, to the more industrial structures in later levels, it all looks authentic and tastefully designed. The rest of the graphics look great as well, but this is to be expected of a game like this. One effect that I can highlight is when you take place in a Titan. This is done very nicely and you really have the feeling you are stepping into a machine that is made especially for you. The sound when you are in a Titan feels great as well. The hydraulic movements and the metal footsteps. It sounds awesome and makes you feel pretty much like you're piloting an unstoppable war machine. Also, the sound of the weapon feels powerful with a great impact. Then the music. Well, to be honest, this is the kind of music you would expect with a game like this. It's an epic classical soundtrack that gets more bombastic with the boss fights and more subtle in the exploration moments of the game. It's pretty well done, just not very special. When I started with Titanfall 2, I didn't know what to expect. I never played the first Titanfall and not much of a mech fan. This was kind of a disadvantage because even though the core story is easy to follow and it's always clear what your objective is, the premise is not clear at all. I had to look it up on Wikipedia to make more sense out of it. This is a pity, because the core story of the game is not very interesting without the background information, and sometimes bordering too weird. For example, you are invading the planet with a huge force, without any threat coming from this planet initially. Yes, you are the invader, you seem to be the bad guy. And even though you just invaded their planet, the IMC offers to let you go if you surrender. They seem like pretty nice guys. Well, in the beginning. If you know the background story, you understand that the IMC are no saints. But this isn't explained anywhere. Well, if you keep on playing it gets pretty clear, but still, the first impression is just weird. Another thing that bothered me was the beginning. You begin this game with a tutorial level, exactly like Call of Duty Modern Warfare. This stage was slow and felt unnecessary. When you completed the stage, you actually start the game with invading the planet. In the second stage, you learn exactly the same moves as the tutorial level, so I don't get the point of the tutorial. So the game starts slow, but it gets stronger with every level afterwards. The mech action is actually awesome. Every level has a different twist, which keeps things fresh. That's why Titanfall 2 deserves better. There were less than 3 million copies sold on all platforms combined, which is much less than the first part, even though Titanfall 1 was just for PC and Xbox One. I seem pretty positive, right? So this is a great surprise for me too? Well, no. There are many games like Titanfall 2. A multiplayer focused sci-fi based running jumping FPS. Yes. But this is a really well done multiplayer focused sci-fi based running and jumping FPS. In that aspect, I can really recommend it. I had a lot of fun with Titanfall 2. And as long as you don't expect a masterpiece, you'll enjoy it. So go try it out. And this is my review of Titanfall 2. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, I would like to recommend to like and subscribe. So I will put some gameplay online so you can see how awful I am with SPSs and to get a feel of the gameplay as well. About the next videos, I'm busy with one of the biggest disappointments of 2016, and the next one will be a remake of an adventure game. If you think you know it, try to guess it in the comments below. Until next time, ciao!